All right, so guys, this was number 31 of the review. I did it earlier and I made a mistake. Oops, I did it again. Okay, so guys, my sincere apologies. I made a mistake. So I want to go through the problem again because I did screw it up a little bit. So I'm going to go through it and make sure that we're good. Okay, so it says a credit card company claims the mean credit debt for individuals is greater than 4,700. Okay, so their claim is that mu is greater than 4,700, and this is our claim. So the opposite of saying something is greater than is going to say that it's less than or equal to 4,700. Okay, and so then remember, this is my HA, and this is my HO. So part A says write the claim mathematically and identify HO and HA. So we did that earlier. That part was correct. Okay, now it says part B says find the critical values and identify the rejection regions. And this is where I made my mistake earlier on this part. Okay, so it says we find a random sample of 34. So I know my N is 34. Credit card holders has a mean credit card balance of 4906. My X bar is 4906 and a standard deviation of 550. Okay, so this is going to be a sample standard deviation, and I'm going to explain why. Number one, if it was a population standard deviation, I would see the word population there. The other thing that's telling me that this is a sample standard deviation is they're asking me to find the critical value and they're using T0. Okay, so now let me draw my picture. This is again where I made my mistake earlier. I actually made two mistakes. So first thing is I know this is going to be a right tail test because I look at my HA. So they're telling me here that my alpha is 0.01. So this is still 0.99. But the way I find this critical value, T0, is where I made my mistake, okay? So I'm still going to use the idea that the area to the left is 0.99, but I need to do, instead of inverse norm, I need to do inverse T. So this is 0.99. The next number I have to put here is going to be my degrees freedom. My degrees freedom is always one less than my N, so it's going to be 33. So let me show you how I'm going to do this on my calculator. Let me go here. Let me clear this out. I'm going to go second bars. I'm going to go to inverse T, 0.99, comma, 33, hit enter, and I'm coming up with 2.44. And it was asking me to round it to 3 decimal places, so it was actually 2.44444. So that's how I'm getting that number right there, okay? Then let me go on to the next part. So the rejection region, actually I can show you right here. So remember, this is my rejection region, and this is my fail to reject region. So when we come up with this number here being 2.44, that's just telling me that when I'm coming to the right of 2.44, that's going to be my rejection region, right? So if you notice here, when T is bigger than 2.44, that's going to be our rejection region. Okay, so now let's do the next part. We're going to find our test statistic T. So the way I'm going to do this is going to be my X bar minus mu over S over the square root of N. So my X bar was 4906 minus 4700 all over 550 and the square root of, not N, but 34. Square root of 34. Okay, so let me do this part on my calculator again. So I'm going to take 4906 in parentheses minus 4700, close it off, divided by 550, divided by the square root of 34. And let's see, hit enter, and I'm coming up with 2.18. And if you notice here, that's what we wrote right there, 2.18. So again, if I think about the picture that we drew a little while ago, okay, we had our critical value here at 2.44. This was our rejection region. This was our failed to reject region. And right now we just came up with 2.18. So we're going to fail to reject because we're in that fail to reject region because the test statistic is not in the rejection region. And so then here we're going to say at 1% level of significance, there is not enough evidence to support the claim that the mean credit card debt is over $4,700. Again, the reasoning behind that, guys, is if I come back to my cheat sheet here, our claim was our alternate, and we failed to reject, so we said there's not enough evidence. The bottom right down here, there's not enough evidence to, let me see if I can do this here. I'm going to mark it a little bit, but I'm basically just looking at that right there. There's not enough evidence to support the claim, okay? And that is my answer.